Welcome everyone to another pick a card reading. So I've been feeling mermaid vibes recently and watching a lot of mermaid related videos and stuff, so I did bring out the Mermaid Oracle for this reading. And before we get started, I did want to announce that aside from my typical tarot readings that you can commission me for, I have decided to also add a new listing for a special type of reading, which basically includes your astrology, numerology, and an in-depth tarot reading. Now, I'm not an astrologer or a numerologist, but I will use and research everything I can and link your tarot reading with what I find in order to bring you a more defined path, let's say, for what your purpose could be or is for this lifetime. If you are interested in getting a in-depth, not only reading, but like a sort of pathway to what your higher calling is, especially if you're lost or if you have dabbled in all these different things and nothing seems to go your way, whatever it is, this could be a perfect reading for you. So I'm going to open it to 5 people because it does require a lot of work and research on my part in order to get you the message that you need to hear. And every time I'm finished with, 5 slots, I'll reopen it to more. That way I'm not flooded with, a lot of work all at once, especially I'm pretty sure people don't want to wait a long time just to get their reading. So I'll do 5 slots every time. So this could be a great way for you to find out what your personal path is. So if you're interested in that type of reading, I will link it in the description box below. All that is required on your part is to give your full date of birth, so month, day, year, as well as the city and country you were born at, so not where you live currently, but where you were actually born, and the time of your birth, which you can find on your birth certificate if you don't know. Okay, so that's all that is required, and then I will do my part and get you a full in-depth reading on your actual path, because a lot of times we may read our, birth chart and things like that, but then it's like you don't know what to do with that information, right? But I'm going to go even deeper for you so that you can sort of have like an in-depth insight into who you are and what your highest calling is. So if you are new here, all you have to do is choose one of these 3 options. Okay, choose whichever pile calls out to you. If you're unsure, you can choose one of these 3 numbers. We got 3, 6, 9. I chose those numbers specifically because Tesla always said and mentioned that whoever understands the power of these numbers has the potential to like unlock the universe or something like that. So I found it interesting. If you're still unsure, you can always close your eyes, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, what is my purpose? Take another deep breath, open your eyes, and wherever your eyes were directed to, whichever pile, that will be your pile. You can listen to more than one, because sometimes the messages do connect, and you might also resonate with different parts of each message. So if you cannot choose one, maybe listen to more than one. Okay, so I will see you in your reading. Hello, pile 1, aka pile 3. Let us see what your purpose is. You got to pay attention to signs. So this could be disconnecting from mainstream and physical world in order to not dig deeper, but connect deeper to that which is not seen. You know how AI has been getting so good these days that now you actually have videos of what look like totally real people but aren't real. And I'm not talking about real people that look like cartoon characters. I'm talking about like you don't know the difference between actual people and AI. That's how good they're getting, right? So if you can't trust your eyes or your ears, then you have to learn to trust your intuition. Okay? So paying attention to signs isn't about looking for signs or looking for meaning. It's about going through your day, but noticing when something jumps up at you. Whether it's you're tuning out some music in the background, but then suddenly for some moment you tune back in and you catch a part of the song, like the lyrics. That could be a message for you. Someone either trying to speak to you, or trying to warn you, or trying to give you some direction. Okay, so there could be many different ways of how this happens, but you need to connect to your intuition, your inner knowing, because that is what is going to help you in the future because of the technology that is already here, but that will be made available or will be shown to us. Okay, so you will need to trust your intuition to know the difference between reality and fiction, especially since if you're dealing with NPCs or clones or even technology that masks a human and allows you to see maybe an alien or some other type of entity, and you're seeing it. Even if you touch them, you feel the texture of this alien skin and everything. But it's just technology, and it's so good that your senses will be easily tricked, but your intuition can't be. Because in their eyes, you're going to see that there's this human element behind it. Or if you're dealing with some type of a clone or an NPC, you're going to see in their eyes, there's this soulless, like, dead look about them. Okay? So you need to, your purpose here is to trust yourself and to connect to your inner knowing in order to be able to see the signs that are laid out for you. You got Shiva with Destroyer. So destroying, this could be about destroying false identities, destroying personas, and things that have been built up that are not real, that are not truth. When people say my truth, there is no my truth, there is just the truth. There's your experience, there's your opinion, but there isn't multiple levels or layers of truth. What happened, happened. So you can't place your thoughts or ideas or judgments upon what happened and distort reality. Okay? So your calling is to be the destroyer, but not of purity, but of fakery, of pretense, of lies. Okay? Because when you live in truth, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how uncomfortable it might be, when you live in truth, your intuition powers up even more. You only will then see truth. Okay? And other people may not like you for this, because remember that even though you speak truth doesn't mean you have to speak it in a harsh way. You can be kind and speak truth, right? But people still won't like you because when you speak truth, even though they claim that they want someone who is honest and truthful, right? But they really don't. Because when you speak truth, you disarm them. and they get mad at you for it. Because through you speaking the truth, you are actually destroying their illusion that they are living. Because everyone lives some type of illusion. And when you destroy that, they feel uncomfortable. Because then they need to face themselves, and they don't want that. They don't want the responsibility that comes with seeing their true reflection. Okay? You got lucky with play. This could be to a message of not maybe taking things way too seriously. When you're dealing with these sort of subjects and matters, it can feel heavy. So in order to balance that, you need to have some type of playfulness about it. It's like caring about everything, but at the same time, not caring. If you understand that. Not caring as in not taking things so seriously where you're stressed out about it, where you're worried about it, but allowing things to just be. Controlling what you can control, but what you can't, leaving it to the universe to handle it. Okay? You got fairy energy, growth, expansion, and a flowering. So your purpose is you unlocking your full potential, expanding your wisdom, looking deeper into things. And when I say looking deeper, I don't mean like over-analyzing, but educating yourself more, researching, looking into ways to maybe connect to the divine in a natural sense that doesn't include someone else's rituals or someone else's ways of doing things. You got spirit guides with insight, guidance, and purpose. So following your purpose, getting the insight, and this whole path and journey is about your purpose of expanding. Because you're living too much maybe in the mundane and in that flat line. You're not, and even if you are experiencing life, it's always the physical. But this message is asking you to participate in the spiritual, to connect to something more divine, something greater than the flesh, greater than your brain and things that you grew up with. Something so deep that it can create heaven and bliss. And I'm not talking about ignorance, but true bliss despite not having to pass away. Because bliss and heaven can also be in the mind. It's a state of being. You got fertility, potential, powerful creative energy, initiation energy. So a purpose here is to create something grand, something amazing. This could be a new invention for humanity. This could be creating a child, but creating with intention. A lot of people, they come together and they transfer their energies while they perform intercourse, and then they think, oh, we just had a fun time, not knowing that they transferred energy, which is a huge deal because that energy stays with you. Never sleep with someone that you don't want to be like, because their energy stays with you. Even if they use protection, it's not just a physical transference, it's energetic. When you're trying to create a child especially, do it with the most clear intention, okay? Even if you're in the midst of, lust for your partner and, getting carried away with things, both of you need to truly use that energy and that power to fuel intention of creating a divine child that will change humanity. But don't just do this and then once the child is born, you feed it McDonald's and you put it in front of a TV screen for it to babysit this child. And you truly need to be on the same page of creating this child to be something different, something that you weren't brought up with. So if that means playing games of who can sit still the longest, right? Because that will prepare them later on to be able to meditate for longer periods of time, right? Teaching your child meditation, teaching them about the world, about the animal kingdom, about respect, right? So that child is then molded into a being that ends whatever generational issues you were brought up in. Because they, through your guidance and through this different type of teaching, this child is going to be different. It's going to be unique. They're not going to see the world as you did, or your parents did, or your grandparents did. They're going to see potential and hope, and they're going to change it for the better. Okay? So don't think of giving birth as in, oh, what's the point? There's already too many people on this planet, or whatever. You are creating an individual that can have a huge impact in society, because you can mold this person to be something better than what generations of humanity has raised. Okay? But you and your partner need to be on the same page. So let's see what other messages we get for you. Okay, group 3, group 1, but you chose number 3 here. Your purpose is to not follow what other people have been following and doing. Your purpose is to create your own path, to find your own stability. Okay, you need to travel, you need to get out there, and you need to continue doing the work that maybe you have put off, or that were in the beginning steps and then you sort of backed away from it because maybe it was overwhelming for you. But your purpose here is to keep moving forward. Okay, to use that creative, that passion inside of you, and to go out there and create that change, create that thing, that project, whatever it is that you've been dealing or doing. And the whole point here is to end that suffering within you, within your family line, maybe even within society, whatever it is. But this energy of being stuck or of constantly failing, this will end, because now you know the path that you're supposed to take. You're not meant to do what other people have been doing. You're not meant to follow their path. You're supposed to be on your own path. Okay? So that is your purpose. So that is all I have for you, group 1. Remember that you can commission me for a soul purpose reading that will be catered to you specifically, with a lot more information than just tarot. Okay, there will be astrology, numerology, as well as an in-depth reading that correlates to the research I found about you. Okay, so all the links are down below in the description box. I wish you guys well, and I'll see you next time. Hello, group 2, and welcome to your reading. Let us see what your purpose is. You got procrastination, so ending your procrastination, it's not exactly laziness. Perhaps there's some sort of healing that needs to take place, because Maybe there are doubts, or maybe whatever you need to do is intimidating. So you need to find ways and techniques of overcoming this. Maybe do a little at a time. It's possible that you're overwhelming yourself because you're thinking you have to finish this all at once, but you don't have to. Okay, I have had so much procrastination throughout the years when it comes to my art, especially learning digital painting. And I always try to take the easy way out or to hurry it up because I just want it as an Aries. I tend to want to be great right now. And that's impossible, right? Because I need to learn. Every artwork is going to get better and better, and with time, my skills will improve. But that impatience in me wants to be better and great right now, right? So I would always hurry and try to create artworks really fast. And when I did try to sit down and, do them in more detail and take my time with them, I would get overwhelmed and not do it at all, because just finishing all at once, was intimidating for me, especially when you're staring at an artwork for so long. Your eyes get used to it, and then you don't see the imperfections, you don't see the mistakes. That's why now when I do something that requires more time, I'll save it and then open it up tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'm going to see, things that need to get fixed, and then I'll continue working on it more, and then I'll save it. Depends how long it'll take. But try to do, at least one thing at a time or a day. Because at least if you're doing it little by little, you're at least getting somewhere, right? It's moving along. Rather than not doing it at all, you'll always have it in the back of your mind. It's there waiting for you. You still have to do this. And then the pressure builds up, okay? So just, if there's something you need to clean, let's say you have a pile of things you need to clean, take one thing and clean it. And then later, clean another thing. Don't overwhelm yourself. You got love. So bringing love into the situation, or possibly even having more love for yourself. Maybe you're procrastinating because of that negative self-talk inside of your mind. And Eros here is reminding you that you need to love yourself more. You need to be more kind and gentle with yourself. Why are you expecting so much of yourself? Okay, you're going to get there. Even if you're doing it slow, you're still going to get there. And it's possible that what you might be called to do here is bring more love into the world. Maybe there's a spark in you, or maybe you have that very nurturing and beautiful type of personality that does care for other people. So perhaps showing people what true friendship is, what true love is, and that will maybe inspire them to be different or to be more vulnerable, whatever it is. Because each one of us makes a difference on this planet. You got the mirror, other lives, past lives, dimensional lives. So for you, this could be a connection with either past lives or your ancestors. It's possible that you have been procrastinating with maybe healing or bringing more love into your bloodline. Maybe there are generational curses within your bloodline. If you have noticed a pattern in maybe if there has been abuse within your bloodline, if there has been financial struggle, poverty, hunger, whatever it is, and it's a constant thread that moves throughout your family, then consider doing some healing techniques in order to have that end with you, because you don't want that to continue through your bloodline onto the next generation, because it keeps getting harder and harder to deal with, because every generation adds onto it a new baggage, a new pile of that energy. And then they leave that to the next generation. Then that generation takes the ones of the previous piles and then puts their own. And that pile keeps getting bigger and bigger. So what you want to do is help heal it. Help remove some of that baggage, if not all of it. Okay? So you can do things like timeline healings, meditations, but with intention, where you are maybe visualizing your ancestors being cleansed in this beautiful waterfall, or moving through fog or mist and coming to the other side where things are more clear, right? Try to do some visual techniques, maybe cleansing yourself with salt baths or egg cleanses or anything like that, to help as much as you can heal whatever this past life or ancestral issues are. You got the seer, future prospect decisions to make and seeking guidance. Some of you might be seers. Maybe your purpose in life is to help others with their ancestors or their past life healings or something. Maybe you do have a gift that can be beneficial to other people. And remember that when you are getting into spiritual work, just because you're getting into spiritual work doesn't mean that you are required to suddenly collect crystals, do tarot, cleanse a specific way. Everybody gets into these things when it's not even their calling. You have to see what is natural for you, what you're naturally being called into. What is your natural strength? What gifts do you personally carry? Okay, see where you gravitate to. It's okay to love specific spiritual things, but if it's not your calling, then don't do it. Because this needs to be your calling. I didn't choose this path. This path chose me. Be wise in how you move around the spiritual realm. And just because things get bad, or if you see negative things happening, that doesn't mean that this path is evil. It means that there are entities that want to remove you from this path because they see your potential. They don't want you helping other people because they feed off of negativity. They feed off of depression. They feed off of sorrow, anger, hatred, envy. They feed off of those things, and they want people stuck in that energy. So when you are out there helping other people, when you are cleansing them, when you are releasing the negatives of their life, these entities will try to remove you from this path. And a lot of people, as soon as they see some darkness in their life, suddenly they think, oh, it's because I bought that crystal. Oh, it's because I have this deck. And it's not that. I mean, yes, if you chose this path for the wrong reasons, whether it's for fame, clout, money, business, if that was your intention, then yes, things will go wrong in your life. Because the spiritual path is to be of service for others. It's not about you. Of course, you have bills to pay. But if you are charging thousands of dollars for a simple reading just because you want to get rich off of this, then bad karma will come your way. That's why you need to have good intentions. And even if you're fooling yourself or other people, the universe will read your energy. So you may think, yeah, I'm doing this for other people, but then you charge hundreds of dollars. So it's not like the universe sees your actions. They read your thoughts. They can sense if you're lying to others and yourself. So be wise in what you do and how you do it. You got mountain lights, light beings, portals, subtle energies. So there might be energies that want to connect with you and help you on this path. This could be nature energies, this could be ancestors, especially if you had insights or signs. Treat your body well, exercise, meditate, massage. So that is a way that you can connect more deeper into your divinity, into your intuition. Because if you don't treat your body right, it's going to cloud your mind. And if you can't think straight, if you can't focus straight, then your spirit can't, not come out, but like, you won't be able to connect with it easily. Okay, so bad food is going to cloud your mind. Lack of movement is going to slow your body down. Your heart is going to slow down, and it's not going to pump your blood as it should. Okay, this is why so many people that work in office spaces tend to have like heart attacks and stuff like that, because they're constantly just sitting under these bright lights that ruin their eyes, that, you know, it's all soulless. There's no energy, there's no fluidity, there's no divinity in any of that work. It's just mundane, it's flat. Okay, so that's why people get ill. So treating your body well and taking the time to do cleansing, to eat right, to exercise and move your body. And remember that not every type of exercise is meant for everyone. Find something that you actually do enjoy doing, whether that is going to the gym, whether that's cardio, or going on hikes, swimming, dancing, anything that has your body moving. Okay, now some people will go on long bike rides, like cycling and stuff. Even though that does help like pump your blood and work out your legs, you're not doing anything with your arms or your shoulders. Your back is stiff and just in the same place. So you need to do something that truly involves your entire body. Okay? Honor your deities around you. Prayers, offerings help. So this doesn't only mean like God or God's goddesses. This could also mean honoring your ancestors, those who came before you. You know, saying thanks, giving them prayers, you know, thanking them and being grateful for their help, because you have no idea how much they help you. Sometimes you think that luck was on your side, but it could easily have been, I don't know, your great-grandmother coming through for you, helping you, you know, reach a goal or having things work in your favor. You have no idea who's helping you on the other side. So even if you don't know who it is, be grateful and say your thanks. And you got Coral's wisdom. Colony, delicacy, fragility, works that are created over great periods of time. So this talks about Coral's wisdom, okay? The coral, it takes so much time to grow. And each coral is so unique. No two are alike. And they are so beautiful. They come in a variety of different colors, shapes, sizes, techniques. Like everything is so unique about them. Just like wisdom is, right? No one is born with wisdom. You need life experience in order to gain wisdom. Okay, so, and the wisdom doesn't come from being school smart. It comes from experience. So even if someone hasn't gone to school at all, they could be so much more wiser than someone who has gone through every type of schooling there is. Okay, because intelligence and wisdom are two different things. Wisdom is more linked to spirit. Wisdom is linked to divinity, while intelligence is just linked to what you learned. Okay, so this is about being patient with yourself, and you have to remember that you cannot rush through life. You can't expect to fuel your body with good food but think that that good food is going to come from a quick meal, like fast food. Okay, anything that is fast and quick is not of value. So let's see what else you get. Group 2, your sole purpose here is to know the difference between reality and illusion. Okay, because the ideas you have of what you want, some of it is not realistic. Not just realistic in the sense of that it's impossible, like, I don't know, you want to be a vampire hunter or something. I'm not talking about that kind of unrealistic. I'm talking about for you personally. Because maybe the things you want comes from the idea of what someone else has, like that Instagram life or something, okay? That is not you. So you need to know the difference between what you truly want and what is just an illusion of something you want, okay? Because there are things that are keeping you in a lower vibration, okay? Things that are making you feel stuck or trapped, and that is what you are supposed to end. Because once you remove the illusion, you're going to see things and opportunities that you have around yourself, and you won't be stuck anymore. That era of being stuck and confused is going to end once you remove those illusions. But you need to know yourself first, what it is you want. Don't look at what other people have, because those are lies. They pretend, they rent cars, they rent spaces, they rent these things and places that make them look wealthy, that make them look have this luxurious life. But remember that even the wealthiest people are the most saddest, most depressed people. Because it's not about money. It's not about wanting more and more and more. That is just material possessions that end up controlling you, and you're constantly living in a void, constantly chasing something that seems endless, that you can never reach, because you're missing your soul. The whole point is to connect with your soul, with your divinity, with who you truly are. That is going to save you. That is going to fill that void, and you're going to feel comfortable in your own skin. You're going to love yourself. You're going to feel blessed and filled with gratitude on a daily basis. Okay, and that is going to lead you into your magician era, into the great manifester that you are. Because you can manifest the life you want, but you need to live in truth. And for that, you need to have strength and courage, because it is not easy to live in truth. Trust me, I know it. There are so many people that might attack you verbally or spiritually, that will send hate your way, that will blame you for shit you didn't do, anything and everything, because they cannot face the truth. Because truth tellers, they disarm other people. They disarm their illusion. They disarm their lies. And those people that get disarmed, they cannot tolerate you for that. They cannot tolerate seeing the true reflection of who they are. Because that requires responsibility and accountability, something that they seem to not be able to do. Okay? Underneath the deck, you have the Sun card. So once you remove that illusion, things will get better for you. Okay? So group 2, I hope you enjoy this reading, and I would like to invite you to commission the new reading slash soul path that I have listed in my Ko-fi commissions and services page, especially if you feel stuck and truly want an answer of what it is you should be doing, or at least focusing on this path of yours. Okay? And remember that nothing is written in stone. You can always choose the life you want because you have free will. Okay? All I am offering is a pathway that is more clear and understandable for you. So you can use that information and do with it what you will. Maybe it will inspire you to find a new way and to do things your way, but differently than what you have been doing so far. Okay? So all the links will be down in the description box below. And I do hope that you do the work, because that is the only thing that will free you. Okay? So see you guys next time. Hello group 3. Welcome to your reading. So let's see what your purpose is. You got sexuality. Let's see where that goes. You got Aries with war. That is interesting. Passion and war, both with red. There's fire here. Huh. You got water spirit, emotions, memory, life force. This is interesting. All these are about emotions. And life force as well, right? Because war and passion talks about a type of life force. You got the green man with rising energy surge and fertility. Wow. Remember who you are. Culture, resilience, beliefs. And you got homeland, arrival, a journey ends, establishment, building settled. It feels like this is a path, some type of creation. There's culture here and some sort of ancestral spirit with remember who you are. This feels like someone might be using sexuality for the purpose of war. Some sort of blackmail or bribe or something. It's like you're being asked to be in your emotions, to heal your emotions, to cleanse and purify, because it's possible that your body or your sexuality or even intercourse itself was used for very negative motives. There was some sort of agenda that was used against you through some sort of sexual energy. And you're being asked to get some sort of cleansing. With this water energy here, this could mean maybe a salt bath or something, because you have residue inside of you. And I don't mean just physically, but especially energetically and spiritually. Whatever they did to you is left in you. It's left behind. And you need to do what you can in order to cleanse that. It's also possible that you don't consider sexuality, like you don't see it in a positive light, either because of bad experiences or not being taught about it well enough, or being told something negative about it. Whatever it is, there's some sort of darkness or negativity around sexuality, and this needs to be cleansed. Your purpose here is to realign with nature and who you truly are on the inside, and not what someone else has done to you. Okay, this could be that maybe they used you in a way for their own gain, their own benefit, or for some sort of witchcraft or voodoo or hoodoo or something. Okay, but it's asking you to remember who you are, to realign with your culture, to realign with your true home. Okay, and that doesn't, if your home is toxic, that doesn't mean your actual home. This could be whatever your idea of home is. Okay, it could be the place you were born. It could be some place that you want to live because you always see that as a place that you connect with on a deeper level. So whatever your home is, you need to connect or realign with it. Okay, but remember to spend more time in nature, because nature is healing, it is cleansing. If I were you, I would do a ritual at least once a week, if not maybe 2 times a week, but at least once a week, where you do an egg cleanse. Okay, look up how to do that. Okay, it's an egg cleanse ritual. Do that. So in your bathroom, okay, before you take a shower and stuff, get fully undressed, do the egg cleanse, and then take a shower. But after you cleaned yourself with soap and stuff, take salt and cover your body with salt, but with the intention of that salt clearing away anything toxic, any illness, any ailment, any negativity, or other people's energies, okay, and cleanse yourself, okay? Let the water rush all over you and remove that salt. And while it's removing the salt, imagine and tell yourself that this water is cleansing away all that negativity and toxicity from your flesh, from your soul, from your mind. After that, when you're don't rub yourself with a towel afterward, try to tap yourself dry, and then get comfy. Okay, sage yourself, do a saging ritual, get something nutritional to eat, or something healthy to drink, maybe some sort of tea like chamomile tea or something, so that you have a nice rest. And then after that, go to bed and sleep. Okay, you can anoint yourself with some type of oils or something, but do this at least once a week in order to cleanse away. And remember that even especially if this was some sort of sexual attack on you, you need to stay away from trying to find a new partner, or being around others in a flirty sexual way for at least a month. Cleanse yourself from all that energy before you get back and date again, or be with someone, be with your partner, or whatever, because you need a time of cleansing, a time of fasting, sexual fasting, let's call it, okay, to truly cleanse away what has been done to your body, to your soul, to your mental state. So let's see what else we get. So group 3, your purpose here is to go through some type of either ego death or end something within yourself that has been there for long. This could also be a generational curse or trauma or something that has been put on you. That's why we got the Remember Who You Are card. This could be something that your ancestors have been going through. If you see a pattern within your family line, a constant thread of something that keeps reoccurring within your line, then that is something you need to heal. Okay? And there's so many different techniques and ways you can heal things. You can do timeline healing, rituals, whatever it is. But remember to do things that feel natural to you. Even if you have to create your own ritual, something that feels right for you and personal to you. Okay? But this needs to be healed. It's like you have to defend what is yours. You have to defend and place boundaries if you have to with whoever it is, even if it's your family, if they're the ones who are being toxic. Okay, you need to create some sort of boundary and fight for who you are and who you wish to be. Because this death card is talking about something has to end. Okay, and you might get a message or some sort of insight into something. Maybe even if you talk to some sort of relatives or something, maybe you might find out something about your ancestors that you didn't know about. Something that could be challenging for you now, or could be an issue that you have had all your life or currently have. And then when you talk to someone in your family, you realize that this is actually an issue that has been reoccurring in your bloodline. Okay? So it's time to stand up. It's time to rise above and to do this healing, to end this cycle. You got the moon card here with this mermaid singing, so it could be using your voice. Maybe going to therapy and speaking about it. Or talking to someone that you need to talk to. This could be someone maybe in your family, or a counselor, some sort of guide in your life. Or maybe even, if you feel comfortable enough, maybe even writing a book about it, or creating a YouTube channel where you sort of vlog your journey of cleansing this, right? Maybe you talk about what the problem is, you be vulnerable, and then show maybe what type of, you don't have to show the exact ritual because that could be very personal to you and you don't want other people copying that. So just talking about, parts about it or something, and just vlogging your entire journey, or even journaling it, to then see how it's coming along and how you feel later on. Maybe start by, first page is talking about what the issues are, how you have been feeling your entire life or currently, and then throughout the journal, maybe you write out the process you've taken, this ritual you did, how you felt afterwards, or what happened after the ritual during those few days later, and just writing it all out and seeing how this journey goes and where it goes, where it leads you, everything you end up trying, what you come up with. Maybe you write down a sort of rhyme or spell that you are performing, maybe for protection or for cleansing, or whatever it is. Maybe do a healing circle, or some sort of ancestral cleansing. Just come up with anything you can and make it your own. Okay? Here we see the Knight of Pentacles. This mermaid is writing things down, looking outwards, just taking her time to do what she needs to do. Okay? So remember that there is no rush. Everything that needs to be rushed is not of quality. Okay? True quality takes time, dedication, patience, practice. Okay? Underneath the deck, you have the King of Swords. So this is someone with focused energy, with knowing who they are, speaking clearly and speaking truth. Okay? So that is your purpose at this current time in your life. So group 3, that is all I have for you. If you do want an in-depth soul path reading, and like a true reading, not just this tarot, but aligned with your astrology and numerology and everything, consider commissioning me for the, I don't know what I'm going to call it, soul path, I guess. The links will be down in the description box below. It could really help align you to what you should be focusing on or doing, or it could inspire you to create something new from it, okay? Remember that nothing is written in stone. You have the free will to do whatever you want to do in this life, to change whatever you want to change. Everything is up to you. All I'm offering is a clear pathway, and for you to understand what you have been given and what possibilities are here for you. Okay? It's up to you how you use that information, but I do encourage you to take the time to get the soul path reading, because it could really help align you more than just a typical tarot reading could. Okay? So consider it. So I wish you guys well, and I'll see you guys next time.